Celebrity, true or false?
You can't handle the truth.
Okay, here we go. Chelsea Handler, celebrity, true or false? True or false, when you were 15, you competed in the Miss New Jersey beauty pageant.
That sounds true.
So you were Miss Livingston?
No, I didn't win. I came in top 15, though, and I take a lot of pride in that.
What did you have to do?
Not much. There was no talent. I mean, there was a swimsuit, and then there was like a ball gown or something that a 15-year-old looks ridiculous in, and then there was a dance sequence that you did with a group of girls.
Okay.
And we did like a dance number, and I started at the very front when we started rehearsing, and by the time we put the show on, you go there for the weekend and you practice with all the girls.
Atlantic City?
Something like that.
Okay.
And I don't remember. And by the end of the rehearsals, I was in the back row. And they told me to move as little as possible because my rhythm is way off. Like, I can't catch a beat. I don't know if it's a Jewish thing, what happened to me, but our whole family has it. And when you see us dancing at a party, it's best to look away.
So you did not win.
I did not win. I was in 2 beauty pageants. I thought for sure I would be discovered, and that would be it. But that's not how it happened.
That's not how it happened. All right. So then the next one, true or false, from the ages of 19 to 27, you worked as a waitress at 9 different jobs and were fired from every one of them.
That is true.
You were fired 9 times as the same job
I had
as a waitress.
I had a temper with customers. If they didn't treat me with respect, then they didn't get respect in return. I had a problem when people didn't look you in. I really believe, and I'm sure that many people agree with me, that it should be a requirement for every young person to be working in the service industry for at least 6 months so that you understand what those people go through and that you understand if your server's in a bad mood, you still tip them 20%. You don't do that. Like, these people have to go through hell. They're like flight attendants. Like, just be gracious and be kind to them. Agreed. But I was also hell on wheels. Like, I would go off on, if somebody asked me the specials, I would be like, really, sir? Like, that's what, I'm like, as if you're going to remember what you had a week from now. Like, just order something on the menu. I don't have time to remember the specials.
But it's your...
I know, but, I didn't take it seriously. That's why I kept getting fired.
So, like, by the 8th time you applied to be a waitress, there wasn't the word out on the street that
no,
maybe
they don't communicate. You think there's some sort of a restaurant database where they're like, hey, watch out for this Helian. She can't treat anybody with respect. No, you just go from, I would go next door and get a job there after I got fired at one place. I'd walk in and be like, can I? And then sometimes what they would do is give you a menu test. When you're a new employee, they'd be like, okay, we're going to test you on the menu. If they said that to me, I was out too. I'm like, I'm not taking any tests. I'm like, listen, this isn't school. Okay. I'm just trying to get by until I become successover.
Yes.
So I'm not taking a test.
Yes.
And that would piss me off.
Were you ever fired on the first table? Yeah,
Morton's. I went over to a table. This is in Beverly Hills, or West Hollywood, technically.
Yes.
It's at Cicconi's actually now. It's Cicconi's. I ate there last night with my friends.
On the corner of Robertson and Melrose. I know exactly what it is.
And I spilled a glass of wine or water on a customer. They made me carry a tray.
Yes.
I was against that. I hadn't had any tray experience. And then I spilled it, and I got fired that day. Yeah.
On the spot.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't mean to spill it, right?
Yeah, but you can't do that. That's not a good first impression,
So it was nothing you said.
I never took it personally when I got fired. I understood that I didn't have the right personality to be in the service industry. I was just trying to get by. You know what I mean? So I would always be like, I was surprised it took you this long, to fire me.
Okay.
But I was actually, I just want to say, I was very efficacious in the sense that I didn't have to ever write anything down. I remembered everything you wanted.
Yes.
I was quick. I was smart. I was fast. I just didn't want to be fake and
the interaction part
of it. The interactions. It's like when I go to the airport, sometimes you want to grab a book or a magazine, but the transaction of getting the book or the magazine from those those people that work inside those airport, they're like koala bears, they're like they're like sleeping. They're never there. Then there's a line, and there's like the slowness of the transaction is such a turnoff. That's how I feel about small talk and, hi, I'll be your server today. Like, I didn't have that.
Is that why you may have had a Kindle back in the day? So you just didn't have to, you could just get the book on your Kindle. You didn't have to just see it.
I don't think that's related. I don't think that's, I think that's a stretch, Rich. Who got you that best dad ever?
My kids got me this for Father's Day, and the price tag's still on it.
Well, that's a true story. I was going to say, did you get that for yourself? Because that's pretty embarrassing if you did. But I'm glad that your kids got that for you. You have 3 children, right?
I have 3 children.
Okay.
Yes.
How old is the oldest?
16.
Oh.
14 and 11. 2 boys and a girl.
Okay. So you're in the thick of raising children.
I am in the soup.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have much hair left.
Oh, is that what you're blaming it on?
Yeah, I'm blaming it on.
Okay. I'll go with that.
That's it.
Sure thing. No problem.
That's it. 2 more for you. True or false? Your first on-air television appearance came on David E. Kelly's The Practice.
True.
What were you on?
I was playing a rape victim on The Practice. I got this. That was my very first acting job that I ever got. I was so excited. And then my father saw it and he said, "That didn't seem like you at all." And I said, "Because I was playing a rape victim, Dad. I was acting." And he goes, "You just seemed so sad." Anyway, that was my foray into television. And I thought from then, I got the call that I got The Practice.
Yes.
It was cute. I was on the phone with my sister and I was bemoaning the fact that I hadn't had a break yet. And I was like really starting to question whether or not I was ever going to get my break.
Yes.
And I remember being on the phone with her and she's like, "Chelsea, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You can't do anything else. This is what you're meant to do."
Yes.
And then I got the phone call from The Practice on the other line when she was having this pep talk with me.
How cool is
and
that?
I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I'm going to be on The Practice. And like, I'll probably just now retire, you know?" Like, I thought it was going to be so much money. And I think I made $7,000.
That's a nice chunk of change,
So it was
I'm
really
sure, right?
nice, but it wasn't retirement kind of money.
No, right.
But yeah, it was a really sweet moment that I remember.
And so you're still, 7-cent residual checks are showing up to your house?
I don't know. I haven't seen a
pop that
residual
one?
check from anything in a long time. I think my business managers handle that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think you need to look into that. All right. And when did you get Chelsea Lately? How did you get to that? Like, I mean, you started obviously doing more and more, and you did, I guess,
stand up, lots of stand up. Then I was on a show called Girls Behaving Badly, which was on the Oxygen Network. Then I did the show, a very short-lived show that was not successful on the E! Network called The Chelsea Handler Show, which was like a sketch comedy show. And off of that, they were like, "You need your own talk show. You need to be on TV every night of the week." And I was like, great. I had never even thought of doing something like that. And then it was just a perfect match.
With you at the E.
Yeah, I was like, it was such
you kind of made fun of what was on E.
Yeah, well, I still do. You know, I mean, how can you not?
Right.
You know, they forced me to cohabitate with the Kardashians, so that was a big uphill battle. You know, I was like, how can we? And I wanted to, you know, after I did that show for 7 years, and after about 3 years of scouring celebrities, you're kind of like, I need a little bit more brain juice up here.
Right.
Can we talk about other things? And they're like, you can talk about whatever you want. You're on E. I'm like, no one is coming to E and watching E to talk about anything more serious than, you know, Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, and the Kardashians. So after about 7 years, I was like, I've had it. And I was exhausted.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, well, I mean, what an incredible run, though, while you were there. And I guess that's the last one I've got for you on my true or false list. Chelsea Handler, true or false, in your famous shower sketches on Chelsea Lately, you were actually nude for all of them.
No, I had a little something covering my Pikachu.
I asked. Okay.
And, yeah.
All right.
And everyone I did it with had something covering their Pikachu.
Okay, so Pikachus were covered.
Pikachus were covered.
Outside of all of that,
I was always naked. I love being nude.
Did that throw off anybody else or no?
I did it with Conan, Ellen, and Sandra Bullock. And no, Conan, I don't think it threw him off. He remained flaccid. I think.
Right.
I mean, I was trying to be polite. You know, it's a professional environment, so I'm not looking.
You're being very polite.
Thank you.
Yes. It's not like you're waiting any tables right now.
No. I'm in a much better mood these days.
Right.
Yes.
So who's? I guess when you look back on that, your favorite guest that you enjoyed having on that program would be what?
Kevin Hart was always. Will Ferrell is pretty much the funniest person out there. Mm-hmm. And he did something on my show that makes me laugh every time I think about it. We had moved studios and so it was a bigger, like, kind of debut of the show, even though it was still the same show. And Will Ferrell just backed onto the show in some ATV and like never said a word, but just sat there the whole show. And that would really made me laugh because he can really commit to a joke. And Kevin Hart is someone I always love to interview because he and I have a nice, easy rapport and he's easy to make fun of, you know?
Yeah.
I respect him, but I also don't.
Right. Because I know I hear you when you say that. He was the roast master at the Brady roast.
Yes.
Did I see you there that night?
Yes, I was there. Yes, I was.
Okay, and he was that was that was quite a night.
Yeah, it was quite a night.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.